Hello my friends, this is Alien Contactee Linol Anderson here with you guys with the brand new YouTube BitChute video, and I am absolutely thrilled because we're joined by our old friend Dr. Levitcus Van Nostrand. Welcome to the show, Levitcus.
Thanks for having me back, Lionel. My friends call me Levy. I've missed the fans and the audience terribly.
Now for the new viewers who didn't know, we used to do videos together many years ago, and he was a big part of our channel. We had to part ways for a bit. He had some missions to do on his own, but he's back now, and today we're doing a video, my friends, on the 144,000 and how they're being activated worldwide right now. That's right. You could confirm that as a doctor, right?
I've noticed many of my patients having enlightened consciousness at the moment.
That's right, he has. So we're going to get into that, and I'm just going to go over some of the spiritual signs and pretty much what's happening and who the 144,000 are. So we'll get right to that right now, my friends. Before we do, I'm just going to encourage everybody to hit that subscribe button. As I say, subscribe to survive. I covered it all from NWO, extraterrestrials, UFOs, spirituality, occult knowledge, and much more. And also, please hit that like button. It helps this video get to more people.
Leave a comment too, please.
Yes, leave a comment. So I got a few things to say before we get to the doctor's diagnosis of the situation. But, so yeah, who are the 144,000? Well, my friends, a lot of people think that it's an actual number of people, like, oh, there's only 144,000 of them. That's not the case, is it, Doc?
Not at all.
No. So what it's referring to, my friends, is the 144 strands of DNA, pretty much. It's something to do with the DNA. Can you explain that more to us, like what the 144,000, what that actually means?
With pleasure, Lionel. So, if you're a starseed, you'll have access to this 144 DNA strands.
Okay. So not all humans have this, correct?
No, only if you're a starseed. If you're a new soul,
Yeah.
you're
Like,
just
like an Earth, I think we call them Earth seeds. Yeah.
Earth soul or Earth seed. Yeah, you're only limited to the 26 chromosomes. But also, I'd really like to point out that the 144 is 12 times 12, and the 12 numeral is so important. It's the months.
That's right.
It has to do with the stars. Like 2012 was the end of the main calendar. There are so many important things that include the number 12.
Yes, and then, yeah, then that connects to 144. Very good insight. All right, my friends, so there's not just 144,000 of us. There's millions. There's millions of starseeds out there, light workers, also angels. The angels who came incarnated here, they would be included. They have the 144 strands as well, correct?
Fallen angels, and I would agree, Lionel.
Well, and that's the thing. People who are angels here, right? We are the fallen angels, right? Those of us who have the angel DNA. It doesn't mean we're bad, like some people want to believe. It just means we were ascended at one point, and then we descended. And a lot of us fell to actually help humanity. We're not bad at all, right? So, very interesting. And yes, the activation has begun all over the world, my friends. People are activated. Before, they were not activated yet. They weren't even aware of who they are. They've just been stuck in the 3D consciousness programming, but the ascension has begun, and we all have specific missions that we came here to carry out. And now it's time, because we see the great war between good and evil is taking place. And now what we came here to incarnate for is now begun. So all over the world, people are activating, and it's coming in the form of like a Kundalini activation, right? This Kundalini energy is coming through us. We're having spiritual awakenings. All of our chakras are being activated, my friends. Our third eye is literally opening, okay? So it's a beautiful process, and, you know, a lot of people may be wondering, well, I haven't activated yet, so is this a problem? And what I have to say to that, my friends, is at the end of the day, your higher self will activate you when it knows you're ready. If you're not ready yet, and you're still very much trapped in the ego mind and your consciousness hasn't expanded enough, if you started activating right now, you'd probably lose your mind and you wouldn't be able to handle it. So your higher self calls the shots on when you become activated. So my advice is to not panic if you haven't activated yet. Just know you're simply not ready yet. There will come a time when you're ready, but you got to put in the work. And to do that, you got to shed all your fears and you got to get out of the ego mind and become the true self. Remember who you truly are. And once you start expanding your mind further, then you'll be able, then your higher self will, boom, release the Kundalini energy. And that's when the 144 strands of DNA will take place. Can you affirm what I just said,
With pleasure, Lionel. Yeah. So, like Lionel was elaborating, you won't activate the Kundalini until you're ready. Now, some activities that will help your activation, I would recommend looking up fasting, look up the snake juice diet. I would eliminate simple carbohydrates and carbohydrates
Stay
in
away
general.
From sugars. Sugars are the worst, yeah.
Processed food.
Alcohol.
I would begin eating
prescription drugs, and I'm not saying, and you could attest this as well as a doctor, that nobody should just give up prescription drugs like that. So when I say prescription drugs, I'm not saying go off your meds right now. It's something that needs to be tapered off, and you got to make sure you're stable first, correct? Like we don't want to. Well, this is not medical advice either, right, Doc?
I am not giving medical advice right now, but I would say there's usually a natural alternative to your medicine, but in specific cases, pharmaceuticals are effective. Now, in addition, I would switch your diet to a carnivorous diet. I would start buying organic meat that you know is grown properly.
It's very important to do the organic meat because you see, my friends, if you're getting meat where the animal is tortured, when you ingest it, you're actually ingesting the suffering of that animal, and it brings down your vibration, correct?
Yeah, you're ingesting cortisol and other stress hormones that it's incurring while it's suffering. In addition...
It's stored in that animal's DNA.
In addition, the new animals that are coming out, they're being injected with the... So it's more important than ever to know where you're getting your food, who is growing it, what kind of food. Is the animal eating GMO food, or is it eating organic grass? Is it getting injected with steroids? You want to make sure you know exactly what you're eating. And now this is a good time to start growing your own food too and start becoming more self-sufficient.
And I would like to say at some point, there's going to come a point where you're probably just want to go full out vegan as well. Because vegan is very high vibrational, because as good as meat is, and as healthy as it could be if it's organic meat, it's still a dead animal, right? And it's still kind of low vibrational, but it's some people need it, especially right now. But as you activate your 144 strands of DNA more, you'll find eventually we're going to get to the point, my friends, we don't need food, we don't need water, all we need is the air. We were originally, how we were, higher dimensional beings, we didn't even need food. We're going back to that state. We're not there yet, so it's going to be a transition period, but you'll find, yeah, like right now, even I eat meat still, but eventually you're going to get to the point where, you'll go vegetarian, then vegan, and then to the point we don't even need food at all. Isn't that right, Doctor?
Another important aspect is to make sure that your gastrointestinal tract is not full of garbage food that you've been eating previously. This includes processed foods, vitamins that are not made properly or with the highest quality ingredients, and just all the garbage, the GMO food you've been eating. Once you clear your intestinal tract, you're more efficient at absorbing nutrients, so you need less food.
And this is why detox is so important as well, Doc, right? People need to be detoxing to get all that crap out of them. Because let's face the fact, even if you try to eat a clean, healthy diet, there's going to be times where, you go eat out or something like that, and you can't control the poison that you're taking in. So that's why detox is such an important thing. And I just want to apologize. We got a dog here, so if he's moaning or growling, that's what you're hearing. I just want to apologize for that. What can you do, But go back to what can you say about detox, Doc?
So, as I previously mentioned, the fasting will cure you of everything. It'll literally eat your tumors, your cancer. Once you deplete your liver of glycogen, you begin eating your ketones. That's what your body begins running on. And then your body enters a phase called apophagy, And then your body starts to eat actually cancers, tumors. Your body starts to synthesize stem cells, and it's literally the most healing process you can ever do.
And it's very spiritual. If you look at all or certain religions, I believe Islam and the Muslim community, I think fasting is part of their spiritual
Ramadan.
Ramadan. That's right.
Easter.
And if you look around the world, it's not just Islam. It's many different religious practices. They always do a fast before they do it because it connects them to the higher realms, right? So yes, these are all things you could do to start raising your vibration and activating the Kundalini. But one thing I would say, just some advice, don't force yourself to release your Kundalini. Don't be like, oh, I got to release my Kundalini, because if you release it before you're ready to do it, then you could have psychosis. It could be a very traumatizing event. So that's why I said your higher self will know the exact time when to release it. Don't force it, anything, my friends. But end of the day, this activation is happening. We are stepping into our divine missions now, my friends, because at the end of the day, we got to we got to defeat these dark forces, and we got to create this new earth. Now, once the ascension process does happen, you're going to have a choice, my friends. You're going to have a choice to come back here to this earth to help rebuild the earth, right? Or you can go back to where we came from, the higher dimensions. It'll be your choice at the end of the day, my friends. But it's a beautiful process that's happening. And, just trust in the process, surrender, and let go. Doctor, is there anything else you'd like to add?
Embrace the God consciousness. Have patience for people who test your patience. When someone does something incredibly rude to you, remember that you are a fragment of the God consciousness, and to exercise the highest morals and behavior.
Mm-hmm. That's beautifully said. Beautifully said. And any other advice on what people could do to better themselves too? Maybe if it doesn't even have anything to do with the ascension stuff. But it's not often we have an actual doctor on the show like this. So just any advice you have for the viewers to help better them as human beings, because we're all on this healing journey of bettering ourselves. And even if it's not directly related to spiritual things, we could all take as much help as we could get just bettering ourselves. And by doing that, it makes us better mental health, and that betters our spirituality. So it's connected still, even if it's not necessarily spiritual. So any advice you have, because, this doc isn't like the mainstream doctors, obviously. So we want to hear what an alternative viewpoint is from a spiritual perspective on what people can do for the ascension and just to better themselves, yeah?
My pleasure, Lionel.
See, this is why we love this guy. This is why we love the doc. He knows, he's got the answers.
So like Lionel alluded to earlier, most religions have a fasting aspect to it. And let me tell you, fasting is very difficult to begin because you have these habits and addictions to the dopamine release. But let me tell you, the doctor himself has done 169 hours, 7 days. And let me tell you, it was spiritual for me. Halfway through, I started getting lightheaded, but not in an unhealthy way. I started feeling almost ethereal. Mm-hmm. And then once you do this, your willpower is so strong. You'll stop drinking sugar. The idea that you ever drinking pop will make you disgusted.
Yeah, I don't drink soda anymore either. Don't want all that sugar, There's better alternatives out there, like stevia.
Yeah, you'll become such a stronger person, more spiritual. You'll understand your body faster, and you'll be more efficient at absorbing nutrients.
Wonderfully said. But anything else besides fasting?
Well, weightlifting is always fantastic.
Exercise, my friends. That's spiritual in itself. It's kind of like a meditation you could do. Like when I'm running on the treadmill, I just focus on the silence, and I focus, on the silence while I'm running, you know, and it's very spiritual experience for me. Saunas can be heat exposure could be very spiritual for you.
I think supporting local business is a good spiritual practice because you're helping your fellow peers out. Stretching.
Community. Yeah, community, right?
Stretching is fantastic. Also, being more charitable.
That's opening your heart chakra, helping others, okay? All these things affects your chakras. That's what you got to realize. Exercise affects your chakras. Did you know doing squats helps open your root chakra? That's right. All these exercises could affect the chakra system. So that's why our main point here, my friends, is to better yourself as a human being. Do the things that make you healthy, because all these things affect your chakra system and are going to help activate you. That's what it's all about. And especially being kind and loving to others, helping others out who are in need, opens your heart chakra. And the way to activate yourself, the best way is to activate the heart chakra. So what we're trying to say, at the end of the day, if you want to be activated and step into your divine mission, which your divine mission, if you're a Starseed Lightworker, is to help others, right? And help humanity. Well, if you do that, if you want to do that, then you got to open that heart center and you got to do good things. You got to be healthy. You got to be a good person. And when you do that, boom, you'll activate, you'll step into your divine mission, and then we will save the planet. So that's it for today's video, my friends. I hope you enjoyed it. If you'd like more videos on how to ascend to 5D and stuff like that, check me out on Patreon. I have the Ascend to 5D class. The links are down below. I got other great classes on Patreon. Or if you'd like to just simply buy me a coffee, that would mean the world to me. The links are down below. And the Doc, I believe you're starting up a new YouTube channel, aren't you?
Yeah, you can find me as Dr. Levitcus Van Nostrand. And I'll be putting out as much genuine research advice as I possibly can.
All right. Links are in the description. You can find his YouTube link down there too. Go and subscribe to the good Doc. Until next time, Lionel signing off. Thank you for joining us, Doctor.
Pleasure. Thank you for having me.
Okay. My friends, subscribe, and we'll see you next time.